Well. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a very interesting little debate or a bit of news that's come about, ladies and gentlemen, is that Suella Braverman's Rwanda homes have apparently been sold off. And so now the next issue that arises from this government is that supposing that we left the Court of Human Rights and just supposing, that for one reason or another, migrants were sent over to Rwanda, where exactly are they going to go when they get there? Who's to say that they wouldn't have demolished those houses by the time they get there, or whether or not they've actually been occupied by the actual inhabitants of Rwanda? Questions. So let's uncover this together, shall we? So we all know what's going on.
Hi guys, it seems the government of Rwanda is doing a better job of providing housing for its citizens than the Conservatives are.
Well done.
So when Suella Braverman was Home Secretary, she travelled with government officials and selected journalists to the African nation for a photo opportunity, where she visited homes that were earmarked for asylum seekers who had crossed the English Channel by dinghy. However, there's a slight problem with this, as reported in the Times newspaper. What an absolute farce.
Accommodation in Rwanda earmarked for migrants has been sold off to local buyers after setbacks delayed Rishi Sunak's small boats policy. Does it mean it's toast then, Jack? You've been there, haven't you?
I've been to this exact housing estate where migrants were earmarked to go once the scheme was up and running. Yeah, it is a setback. These houses, I went there with Suella Braverman, the then Home Secretary, and they were sort of touted as really nice accommodation, affordable accommodation, which migrants who we would send to Rwanda under the Migration Partnership would be able to rebuild their lives. We've now found out that of the 173 homes here, 70% have actually now been sold to other locals. And so this scheme is meant to be uncapped, okay, so where are they going to go? But also, it might speak to the fact that Rwanda are just getting a bit impatient and a bit bored of waiting for this. I mean, this scheme was first announced in 2022, and now it's, almost 2 years later, and we haven't sent a single person apart from 3 Home Secretaries and a bunch of journalists, including myself. And I have to say, actually, the homes were quite nice. We went out of there, and as the Times makes clear today, Suella Braverman said that she loved the interior design when she was there. So.
Which someone else is now.
My goodness. What an absolute joke of a party. Joke of a government. The Tories just are not serious about doing anything. Now, how much...
I know I've probably said this before, and this isn't exactly going to be new or anything like that to you guys, but again, listen, I've been alive on this earth for 26 years now, and I'm just going to straight up say is that, listen, you learn a thing or two just by using your eyes. And when they decided that after the chaos with Liz Truss, that they had sort of reluctantly, in the eyes of some people, they got Rishi Sunak as their Prime Minister, and they've decided that this is our best course of action, and the best thing to do is to stick to a man who we didn't even want in it the first place. I know a lot of people have got off to a very shaky start, and when Rishi Sunak's ideas and everything else, all the baggage that he has before even getting into politics, have carried over, and they've chased him up to this day, including the cabinet he devised, which consists of tax dodgers, bullies, Islamophobics, and also people who have very, very mean tendencies towards minorities. Well, I think it's fair to say, ladies and gentlemen, that even taking all of these into account and taking everything we know so far, there is not one party in this country, even more than the Reform Party, that I believe in as little as the Conservatives. I personally think that they will backtrack. I think they will U-turn the hell out of any accusation to say that the entire party was behind Braverman's ideas. And I think that even if they win the next election, they will continue to make this country struggle through its shortcut taking, redundancies for the poor, 3 out of 10 frozen ways. Good luck. because that's what we're going to be in for if this goes on any longer.
Money has been spent on Rwanda, about £500 million, it seems. How many people have been sent? Well, a few people, but not asylum seekers. The plan, of course, was to send asylum seekers, and the whole idea being, well, Rwanda is going to be both a wonderful place to rebuild your life, but also a massive deterrent to stop people from crossing the channel. Now you have the property that was available for these asylum seekers has been sold off, which begs the question, did the British government actually pay for this accommodation? Did they pay for these houses? Because it's possible that they did, or this is part of the £500 million that was sent to Rwanda. £500 million that could have been spent on other things. But Rishi Sunak and Suella Braverman and others have said, no, this is the priority of the British people. They're more concerned about immigration than they are about, I don't know, the cost of living crisis. An absolute farce. But these are policies designed to grab attention, to have a headline in the newspaper. See, we're sending people to Rwanda. It's turned out this week also that the RAF don't have aircraft available because a lot of the aircraft have been provided to the private sector. So it means that Rishi Sunak can't even rely on the Air Force to send people to Rwanda, even though the RAF have tried to distance themselves from this, along with commercial airlines who don't want their reputations to be tarnished. So he doesn't actually have any aircraft to send people to Rwanda, and it seems the amount of accommodation available in Rwanda is dwindling because, properties can't stay empty for 2 years. And I imagine there's a housing crisis probably in Rwanda, and the pressure being applied on the government there to do so. Look, you have all this accommodation for asylum seekers from Britain. They're not coming. Well, at least give it to the local people, allow local people to buy up these properties. It's insane. But once again, it's the Tories wasting public money in order to shore up support. And of course, who's going to take advantage of this situation? Reform UK. Reform are going to look at this and say, see, the Tories are not really serious about immigration. They're not serious about sending people to Rwanda. They're not serious about stopping the boats. They're selling off, they're allowing these properties to be sold off, so they don't really care. They're not really interested. What an absolute farce. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are great.
Well, of course, and I'm just completely beside myself, as I always am with this, because what an absolute joke. And I legitimately am sitting here right now and I can't believe this is even happening. I said this from the very first day that I heard about this, and I said to myself, no, there's absolutely no way this is going to work. You're absolutely insane for suggesting this idea. And once again, even Reform are going to be looking at this, and they'll be playing the same blame game as well as that. Not just on those who are here, whether illegally or otherwise, but also on the powers that be, because they won't actually do anything because they've painted themselves into a corner thinking this can work when we know it fine well won't work. And as I've said many times before, and will continue to say it, there is still an incredibly nasty, out of sight, out of mind attitude to all this. But that could be just on me. So let's hear. I want to hear what you guys felt, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now.